Hi, Virgo rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast starting on the 21st of April until the 27th of April. You are moving from a 7-year cycle of questioning your worldviews and beliefs into a cycle where that wisdom is finally put to use in the public eye. So, Virgo, for the last 7 years, Uranus has been shaking up your ninth house, the house of philosophy, travel, belief systems, making your world feel like potentially a constant experiment. But then on the 26th, that lightning finally moves into your 10th house, the house of career, public reputation. Uh, you are moving from these theoretical disruptions to more of a professional revolution. This week is about taking the wild new philosophy you have developed and finally launching it into the world. But let's get started with Amor moving into your eighth house, and it's going to be spending 8 months there. And Eros moves into your 12th house, and Bacchus enters your 10th house. So there's quite a high intensity focus on money and your private power. The eighth house of transformation is demanding a review, while your 10th house of career is buzzing potentially with some like social potentials. So, with Amor stopping in your eighth house, review how you handle money with others and start an 8 month review of who you trust and why, especially when you are partnered up with others. Use Eros in the 12th house to kind of find the passion in solitude. Your creative work behind the scenes is where your true fire is right now. And then you can really use the Bacchus in the 10th house to enjoy the social side of your career, say yes to networking event, the interview, the public talk. But maybe this is not a week when we have to rush into joint investments. Amor in your eighth house means a new loan, a business partnership might be more of an impulse. So pause and evaluate a little bit. Maybe you are getting confused by, or you're getting convinced by a romantic partner of yours. And this can even indicate some puppy love as well. Maybe don't let your private desires kind of spill. Eros in your 12th house can make you accidentally reveal secrets. Be careful what you say in public. And Bacchus can actually in the 10th house kind of like chasing the high. It's a bit of an all or nothing type of position. So don't let the job title mean more than the actual work. Venus is making its very last conjunction to Uranus on 29-degree Taurus. That's the grand finale of Uranus in your house of higher learning. So you might have a sudden realization about a degree, a travel plan, a core belief that has been holding you back. A bit of a lightning strike of clarity hits your worldview now. It can be a final exit due to the 29 degrees. So maybe it's about finishing up a study. Maybe this is about not aligning anymore with a guru. You feel like that they might not be growing with you anymore, and then you kind of drop these people. Or maybe you're going to be investing into a workshop or tool that feels very unconventional and something that challenges your usual kind of precise Virgo way of learning. Maybe you travel on a whim, you know, you go somewhere you have never been to before. It's about changing the scenery, but in the fastest way to ground yourself. You can feel like that, oh wow, I haven't traveled anywhere before. So I want to do that. We can have that sudden desire. This is also telling you not to cling to old dogma. You know, 29 degrees, a weeping degree, it's an out of hands degree. So if your old belief system is being dismantled, don't try to save it. If you're not meant to be traveling somewhere, don't cry, over it. You were not meant to go there. The energy is very erratic for the ninth house commitment. So don't sign any type of long-term contracts or legal documents right now. Maybe have a second review of someone. And if you feel lost a little bit regarding your path, you know what? It's not an accident. It's more about cleaning your slate, and then the inspiration is gonna come back once that Uranus moves into Gemini. You know, the sun is in your ninth house as well, and squaring Pluto in your sixth house. A square is a clash. So we've got the big vision here, and then we've got the reality of our daily grind, the system that we have built. So maybe it's the dream that is too big for your current office, your body, or your team. So you might try to chew into something that is bigger than what you have right now. So this is about um, a bit of a pressure to cut out filler tasks that don't serve your ninth house goals. It's about looking at how I can simplify things. Or simply, this is about a daily health routine that we need to follow so that we can process certain type of stress. You know, this is maybe it's a methodical work or something that requires a lot of heavy focus. Is kind of your best medicine so that you are not feeling that stressed. However, don't let the details of any type of system stop you from seeing the bigger picture. Don't work yourself into the ground. You know, if something feels too heavy, it just indicates that the system is not right. So maybe you have to go back to basics. You have to work on the system so that the efficiency becomes better. And maybe your current desk is a bit small, doesn't mean that your ideas have to be small as well. So this might be an indication of thinking big. But I think Uranus eventually is going to bring you a big career shift. Pallas Athene is actually moving into the eighth house as well, and Psyche enters Cancer, which is your 11th house. So it looks like you do a bit of a laboratory work in your 10th house for the next 7 years. You coming up with some financial strategy as well. And even your friendship can be going through a change. I think be open to a non-traditional career path. Uranus in the 10th house loves digital careers, independent work, kind of like breaking away from the corporate world. You can really use the Pallas Athene to plan how the taxes are going to be, what to invest into, an exit strategy from a debt, financial plans, of course. And Psyche in the 11th says that it's very important the type of network nurturing that you do right now. So hang out with people, be vulnerable with your people, with your peers, because the tribe can protect you, that can give you the way out. I think it's about not fearing the change in your life. Maybe your reputation might shift rapidly. Don't try to maintain the old version of yourself. Paulus in the eighth house says that you might be over-calculating about money. So also remember that you are human as well. It's okay to spend. And don't hide in the crowd. Psyche wouldn't be happy in the 11th house just being too sensitive to social groups, people. Yes, you might feel drained by them as well, and we have to step back. But the ultimate goal is let me be surrounded by people who actually give me the growth that I need. And the sun will be making a beautiful sextile and trine to the nodes. The nodes are in your first and seventh house. So with the ninth house, you know, you teach. And then with the seventh house, it's about audience. So it's about using your wisdom to learn about yourself, to kind of write about yourself, or becoming the mentor and then sharing your worldview with others. Maybe you want to be having a Taurus style conversation with a partner about future goals, finances, assets, how we can grow. And maybe you want to be relocating with your partner, or you want to be having these discussions with them. However, you can overanalyze the relationship as well, and you can become critical towards yourself as well as the partner, or the other way around. The North Node is telling you that what if I'm just with the person and I'm forgiving them and I'm just loving them for who they are? They don't have to be perfect. Or, you know, the most practical road today for you is, you know, simplicity. So your path doesn't have to be overly complicated. And it also says, don't forget your body, you know. Sometimes we need a bit of a rest. We have to be spending time in nature. We have to travel. We have to be able to switch off. So, of course, one of the highlight of the chart is your career. And it's about time to revolutionize your public presence. Have a financial strategy, find safety in your community. And I think you shouldn't be afraid of being kind of like an unconventional version of yourself right now. That would be the secret of the week ahead. And I think it just should be playing out greatly. I think there could be a lot of, if you are, single with North Node getting activated, might attract someone into your life. You can get excited about a foreigner. Maybe it happens on internet. But watch out for Uranus, Venus because it might be ordering things from Amazon. The ninth house is like shipping, cosmetic jewelries, fashion items, and all those type of stuff. But it's brilliant also that you are not afraid of sharing your unique gifts to others. You might get a sudden invitation to a foreign event. You might get a present from a foreigner. And I think it's time now to make a positive change in your life regarding the path that you are on. And sometimes we have to walk away from certain type of ties, and sometimes we have to walk towards them. So it's up to you which one you want. But maybe it's about walking away from having to allow someone to criticize me, to judge me for what I want to study, for my spirituality, and so forth. So good luck, Virgo, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.